Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus, a third save file. I'm actually looking at the wiki right now. You can't see it on the screen, but I'm looking at the wiki for challenges just to see if there's other things we'd like to unlock, and there's a few that stand out. We could go for runes. Alges would be good to unlock. AWAs could be good to get maybe like the shoals a little faster, but I'm not really keen on AWAs. Maybe Alges. That's Cat Got Your Tongue. We could unlock Epic Fetus is Family Man, the challenge Family Man, but I think you have to unlock Family Man if I remember correctly. Yeah, so it's not even unlocked, and I don't really like the fetus items, so I'm not really super stoked about that. We could go for SMB Superfan, which is unlocked by It's in the Cards. Let's do that one. That's a good, solid, you know, like, it's not the best all stats up, but it is an all stats up. Let's go ahead and fire off a It's in the Cards challenge. Alright, so we got a Perthrow and a High Priestess right off the bat. Perthrow is a great get, obviously. High Priestess is good as well. Let's throw this out there. You know what? Fuck it, I'll throw a tower in here. I just was hoping to blow up some rocks, see if there was a crawl space. No freaking crawl space, dude. Run's been going well. Commentary's been going well. I feel like I'm getting back into that, like... I feel like I'm greasing the groove of commentary. Greasing the groove is a fitness term. I've been on a fitness kick lately. Greasing the groove is, it doesn't really apply here. It just kind of sounded like what I wanted to say. Greasing the groove is really supposed to be like when you do little fitness things throughout the day instead of doing like a prescribed fitness program all at once, like working out for an hour in a weight room. So greasing the groove would be stuff like every time you pass a door frame, you knock out a few pull-ups or something like that, right? Or like you get up in the morning, you do some push-ups. You arrive at work, you do some push-ups. It's just like keeping that rhythm going, keeping your groove greased, if that makes sense. It's sort of like an all-day, whenever I can fit it in, kind of more casual, but also more holistic, maybe, like, fitness approach. It's interesting. It's something to look into. That's my, like, layman's understanding of it, at least. I tend to kind of function better with a little more structure than that, honestly. I'm not very, like... I like things to be measurable. I talked about this in the last video. I like things to be sort of like rigorous and science-based. Okay. We could stomp you, but I'll save the stomp for the boss. Should be fine to get through this fight. Got another card. It's a Stars card, which doesn't really do anything for us because there are no item rooms, I think, on this run. All right. So... yeah, so things are going well. Everything's going well. Life is crazy when you have a baby, which we do. She's a little over 5 months old now. Amazing, beautiful, best thing that's ever happened to me, but a huge life change, obviously. I mean, it doesn't get much bigger, honestly, and I think I can say that as a dad. I could have said it before I was a dad, but people get weird when you try to say anything about being a parent before you're a parent. Before it's apparent you're a parent, you know what I mean? I wonder, like, if people can tell that I'm a dad. Do I, like, do I give off a dad pheromone now when I'm, like, out and about? Are they like, ah, that's a dad right there. Look at him. He's a dad. He's just, like, all of a sudden I woke up one day. I didn't even have to put them on. I woke up one day in New Balance shoes. I had white New Balances on when I woke up. I don't know what happened. But I don't know. Major life events like this are crazy because they're like, they're a catalyst for something, right? Like they're either, like a major life event to me is either a catalyst for positive change, like it's like a wake-up call kind of, or it's a catalyst for disaster. And it doesn't have to be necessarily the extremes, but they definitely can be. Like, a kid can be the catalyst to really, like, turning your life around for the better. Or a kid could be the catalyst for, a divorce. I would never say, it's the kid's, it's a baby's fault or a child's fault that their parents got divorced. But a child can sort of like expose the cracks and the fissures in an otherwise, like in an already flawed relationship, I guess is how I would put it. But, you know, like, huge life events, like, sometimes you get a crazy wake-up call. Like, I've got a friend who, a very close friend of mine, his dad and his dad's best friend both got the same kind of news. They both were, like, I want to say, essentially, they were essentially, like, functional alcoholics, right? So they're drinking, like, just drinking entirely too much, you know. I don't know what, you know, what's the difference between a true alcoholic and a functional alcoholic? Denial, I guess? I don't know. I don't really know. I've never really struggled with that myself, fortunately. But they both got the same news. Basically, it was like this huge wake-up call from their doctor saying, I should really kind of pay attention here, but saying, like, you need to change your behavior or, like, this is the path that will lead to your life being very, very bad and possibly over, you know, possibly end in the termination of your life. And his father really turned things around. Like, he took that as like, okay, this is I screwed up before, I'm not gonna screw up now. I'm gonna cut back drastically on drinking, if not eliminate it entirely. I think for a while at least he eliminated it entirely. And he lost a ton of weight. He looked great, and just like he's you know, literally saved his own life. I'm not gonna take that. This is better, even though we're gonna stick with the cards though, because we're gonna stick with like the spirit of the challenge. We could have gotten 2/3 gup, but I think we're better off this way. We are gonna go check the curse room. Watch, there be a guppy item in there as well. But yeah, so the sad, and you might see where this story is going. The sad other part of that story is his dad's friend. So wait, can we get back in there then and Perthrow Guppy's paw? I think I will. His dad's friend did not heed the doctor's advice, ended up like losing, you know, one of the complications of diabetes is you can lose, like, I think he lost a foot, and then eventually he's no longer with us, you know. But it's like it's sobering. And, you know, I didn't bring in this kind of negativity to an Isaac video, but this is life, and I try to share my life with you guys, so I'm sorry if it brings you down, but it's a sobering thing that a lot of people, when they get, like, literally life-threatening news, and the news is like, hey, you need to just change this behavior that you're very used to, like eating, you know, fast food or drinking alcohol or whatever, a lot of them still don't do it, which is amazing to me. I don't really want that. Let's keep the Fool. Stars doesn't really matter. It's just amazing to me because I think, I don't know. I mean, I haven't been faced with too many of those things, and I also, like, don't have an addictive personality, which is a huge component of it that can't be ignored, you know? Maybe I mean, it is, I think, a lot harder to kick addiction. It's a lot harder to kick addiction than it is to not ever start it. But I think, you know, they messed up both. Like, a lot of times when it gets to that point, you've messed up both sides, you know? I feel like there's lots of ways people are tested, but I feel like there's two big ways people are tested in life, right? Like, one is in the doldrums, in the grind, right? In the day-to-day. And another is in those huge 5-alarm fire moments, right? The do or die type moments. And, because, you know, anybody can succeed or happy when things are just amazing, right? like if everything's going well, you know, or like nothing's biting you in the ass. You know what I mean? When you're 20 and you decide to take up a bad habit, you know, yeah, it's not gonna kill you right away, but you're messing up the grind part. And sometimes just messing up the grind is enough to screw you over beyond repair. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you get that wake-up call and you can still turn things around. You can go, well, I messed up before, but I'm gonna fix this now. And you really can't afford to be bad at both. You shouldn't. You should try, endeavor not to be bad at either of them. I'm gonna take Emperor Perthro, and we're just gonna skip the next floor. You really should endeavor to not be bad at either of them. I tend to think I, on the whole, tend to be better at the crises, at the big events, and I struggle with the day-to-day. That's not to say that I am amazing at like large events too. Sometimes I drop the ball in those and things like that, but I tend to be like I'm a big picture kind of big thing kind of guy at times. But it's weird though, because that's when it comes to general life. In my relationship, I tend to be better at the day-to-day, like Casey will tell you, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm great. Like I do well. I do really well caring for her day-to-day. When it comes to like planning like a vacation or a birthday or something like that, terrible. I'm terrible. I should really be better at that. When it comes to like I handle a crisis better than I handle like the grind, I guess, though, in my regular life. But I'm trying to get better at the grind. And I think Twitch is the biggest, like, if I was trying to, you know, apply to a job where I had to prove I was, ooh, baby, where I had to prove I was, you know, good at the grind, Twitch would be line number 1, highlighted, you know, bold, biggest explanation on the resume, on the old resume. Because it's the first thing that I've really, like, stuck with and grinded it out and seen success because of it, you know what I mean? And here and there I lose sight of that grind, you know? There's falters, there's steps backward and things like that, but overall, it's the most consistent I've ever been with anything, essentially. And hopefully to be supplanted probably by parenthood. Hopefully I'll be just as consistent, if not more so, with taking care of my child. I mean, you know, it's sort of like different, but like, I mean, I also am very consistent, like I said, in my relationship with Casey. A creative pursuit is different than a relationship, obviously. We'll take 2 strengths, I think. Let's do that. You know what? Pop one. We're spoiled for cards, obviously, so why not, you know, they're burning a hole in my pocket, essentially. But yeah, you know, I mean, sometimes people are great at one, sometimes people are way better at the day-to-day and way worse at, like, the giant things, the big things, the big gestures, you know? Like, you ever meet a friend who's, like, you might have a friend who's, like, just really great at, like, being consistent about asking you how you're doing and stuff like that, but they'd be terrible at planning a big party for you, you know? Or vice versa. Yeah. We want this. Yes, we want this. All right, rock and roll. 2 of diamonds. Not really going to be significant. We're going to wrap this run up very, very shortly, but, you know, life's crazy. Life comes at you fast. If you blink, you might miss it, but you got to stop to smell the roses. That's one of my favorite things, is to just list 2 completely conflicting cliches when you're talking to somebody. Just be like, I don't know, don't judge a book by its cover, but if you hear hoofbeats, think horses, not zebras. Or don't judge a book by its cover, but if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck. There's so many cliches out there that say, like you can just pick a cliche to apply to completely opposite scenarios. Like, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, but don't count your chickens before they're hatched, etc., etc. This is where all my, like, EU viewers are like, what the frig is this dude talking about? I love EU or like foreign cliches as well, like non-American cliches, because some of them are great. Like I was really disillusioned though when I was a kid there was a supposedly a cliche, or like not cliches. Why am I saying cliches? Idioms is the word that I'm trying to think of. I meant to say idioms like that whole time, but they were both cliches and idioms that I was saying in English. But idiom is the word I was thinking of. I love non-American idioms. Like there was one I was disheartened to find out. I took French in school, and there was a French idiom that we learned that was mon petit chou, right? And in class we were taught that it was a term of endearment, and it really meant my little cabbage. And I always thought, oh my god, that's adorable. Like, French are so funny. They say my little cabbage, how cute. And like, you know, there's stuff like that that doesn't translate from English to French. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, I'm learning like a neat little idiom from another language. Come to find out, when I looked this up later, it actually, like, my French teacher was just wrong. And we'd have no reason to do boss rush. That's silly, but we can do it anyway, I guess. Let's take this. Like, my French teacher... Yeah, let's do boss rush. Fuck it. Why not? My French teacher was just wrong. I don't think parasite works, but I'm going to take it anyway. And it actually means, like, my little sweet. It comes from, like, chou de la crème or chou de crème or something like that. You know? I will stars card out of here if I have to save the challenge, but I don't want to. And so, like, it doesn't mean cabbage at all. It's, like, a mistranslation. And I was like, ah, frick. And that's when I gave up on France and the French forever. At Fifth Alice. So, Fifth Alice is a longtime French viewer of the stream, if you're wondering the context of that little non sequitur there. Get him. Come here, you frail or forsaken, whatever your name is. I can never remember the difference. That's the frail, right? Forsaken is the ghosty ghost? I don't know, dude. But, yeah, I mean... Idioms are one of the hardest things to like actually learn in another language, but I think they're one of the most fun things. So if you got a foreign language idiom that like sounds hilarious when like without like explanation, share the explanation too, but share it in the comments like first without explanation so I can just laugh because they're fun. Ah! I'm not scared. You were scared. This run's obviously very strong. Now that we got like a single soul heart, essentially, I feel good about our chances to succeed here. Got another card here. What's this? Hanged Man. We already can fly. No point. We'll just pop it to get it out of our face hole, though. So again, I mean, there's no reason for me to be in here doing boss rush. It doesn't like. We don't get credit for doing this. We don't get any of the item touches because this is part of a challenge. But I get to hang out with you guys a little longer, so I'm cool with that. There we go. The Hermit. No, I don't want to teleport out. You can't make me. Devil, that's not going to stack, but we'll use it.
The devil.
Get him. And Ouija board. Alright. Well, that's going to do it for this video. And that's SMB Superfan unlocked. Nice. Alright, Superfan has appeared in the basement. Thank you guys for listening to my rant about life and language. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like or a comment. It always helps me out so much. And if you want to see more Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus challenges and other content when it comes out on the channel, please subscribe. I'm Accidental Grenade. And thank you so much for watching.